Boston Celtics. The Toronto Raptors stayed alive, beating Philadelphia, but the Sixers still hold a 3-2 lead. Dallas took a 3-2 lead on Utah with a blowout win. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
WPTV First Alert Weather on WSTU is brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Code Red Roofers cares and calls you back. Shows up and finishes on time. 287-2829. Code Red Roofers, the roofers who respond. Now here's the First Alert meteorologist.
Hey there, everyone. Steve Villanueva here. As we head into the next several days, at least tomorrow, we will see dry conditions. High pressure continues to dominate, so we're seeing very pleasant weather. But by the middle of the week, a cool front approaches, and it's going to settle across South Florida. It's not going to cool us off too much, but it will bring us showers and storms, and that starts on Wednesday. Some of the storms could produce some heavy rain and some strong gusty winds. Thursday and Friday, about a 30 to 40% chance of a shower or a storm. Even into the weekend, we'll still have some scattered storms around. I'm WPTV First Alert Meteorologist Steve Villanueva for WSTU 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning, everyone, and thank you for tuning in on this extraordinarily beautiful and wonderful Tuesday morning. It's April 26, 2022, and I'm your host, Tom Bouvier. I'm normally the co-host of the Quality of Life radio show with Gary Owen as the host, but he's off doing business for Owen Insurance Group. And as I just mentioned, we are bringing you the Quality of Life radio show, which is sponsored by Aetna and Cigna Medicare. So if you need a Medicare plan, give us a call at Owen Insurance Group. We can show you all the different benefits and products and services from Aetna as well as Cigna and many others. So today we're streaming live on Facebook. Here from the WSTU radio station near beautiful downtown Stuart, Florida. You can also go to WSTUtv.com. It's live streamed, and it's also airing simultaneously on WSTU 1450 AM and WPSL 1590 AM. So we're glad you're listening in, and stay tuned. We have three great segments of our hour-long show. First of all, the first segment, we love to bring relevant content to our listeners, support and showcase local businesses, nonprofits, community leaders. I have a wonderful community leader I'll be introducing here in just a moment. The second part of the show, we'll share a quote of the day. We'll have a fun fact, fun health fact that you should know about, and then a Did You Know portion for this day in history, as well as fun facts from around the world. We'll put our guest on the hot seat and see how many of these he can figure out. So the third part of the show, I'll be sharing some knowledge and information about important insurance solutions, pitfalls to avoid, transparency, and good old-fashioned straight talk, as we call it, that will enhance and improve your quality of life, because it is our mission at Owen Insurance Group to simplify insurance planning so you can enjoy the stress-free life that you deserve. And before I forget, if you have any questions about insurance, need a no-cost or obligation quote, information, research done for your Medicare, individual health or family health, life insurance, any type of insurance product, give us a call at Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. That's 772-210-1020. And now it's time to introduce our guest. Mr. Alex Anzalone is the campus president of the Chastain campus of Indian River State College. So welcome, Alex.
Thank you for having us here today.
Absolutely. So we're so excited. I know education is top on your mind, and running an entire campus is quite impressive. And I know you have a lot of responsibilities, and thank you for taking your time to be with us. But before we get into everything that you actually do here in the community, we always like to know about the person. because behind that wonderful suit and that beautiful smile and all the responsibilities that you have and the title that you carry on your card, there is a person who was once a little child, who once grew up, and somehow you came to the position you're at. So just tell us a brief history of who you are, how you came to the wonderful Treasure Coast.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's my pleasure to share the story, to make it into a teaching moment for people, right? I'm an example of the American dream, and it's still alive and well. And so my family migrated from Sicily to Venezuela many, many years ago, and I was born and raised there. I was able to pursue chemical engineering as a degree. I worked in the oil companies in Venezuela. I worked in a rum distillery for a year and a half, and then decided maybe education is something I can do to help others achieve what I was able to achieve. So I went to New York, NYU, got my master's in chemical engineering, went back to teach, and then went to USF in Tampa to pursue my PhD and my postdoc. At that moment, I didn't want to go back to Venezuela based on the situation that was happening there. So we decided to stay, and we found an opportunity in Puerto Rico. So in Puerto Rico, I was chair of chemical engineering. I was director of the sponsor research office. I did many things. It was a private, small school, so in 4 years, I was able to do a lot. And then we went to Tampa. We moved back to Tampa. And my wife is still there. She runs a master's program in engineering management at the University of South Florida. I was at Hillsborough Community College for 12 years. You had several positions there. And then the opportunity came to lead the operations here in Martin County for Indian River State College. It's been an amazing experience. The community is very welcoming. We have a lot of activity, many nonprofits, 5 chambers of commerce, which to me is impressive based on the size of the, of the county. But something I like telling people, my parents did 9th grade, my grandparents did 6th grade, and that's it. I had 2 uncles that completed high school. That's the highest anybody in my family ever got to school. And I completed a PhD in chemical engineering. My little brother has a PhD in agriculture. And in my family, all my cousins, we have lawyers and doctors and, journalists and so on, architects, and many other areas. So education is very important to me. I decided to leave industry. At the time, it was the 3rd best company in the world, Petróleos de Venezuela.
Right.
Now, of course, it's nowhere close to that. And I decided to leave that to help others achieve what I was able to achieve. And I've been doing that for almost 29 years now.
That's a fantastic story, and not only is it the American dream, but of course all around the world. If people will use their brain, brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you get education to solve problems and to be efficient in a particular area. You can help a lot of people.
Yes.
And so that's awesome. So what do you like about the Florida? Obviously, your wife is in Tampa running things. You're over here. You picked Florida for a particular reason?
We love Florida. We moved to Florida in '97 to pursue our PhDs at University of South Florida. And since then, we've been in love with Florida. We left for Puerto Rico for 4 years, but came back to Florida.
Right.
So again, it's a very interesting state. Of course, the weather is somewhat similar to back home. It's not as cold as New York when I was there. My wife went into Oregon, so it's very different. And the environment, the business environment is very positive here in Florida. Education is pretty well supported. So I'm very happy to be part of, everything that we're doing here in Florida.
So who's the smartest? Boy, you
can't
get anything over on your wife, I'm sure.
It's always my wife, yeah. And
if she's watching, is she watching, do you know?
She might not be watching live, but I'm sure she'll see the video later on when you guys post it.
And what is her name?
Her name is Patricia Anzalone.
Patricia, well, we give you a wonderful shout out. Patricia Anzalone, and it's so nice to meet your husband and have him on our show. If you're ever over in this way, you're welcome to be on the show as well, so thank you. So with that, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about your history. Very interesting. I'm sure your ancestors, the ones who immigrated from Sicily, I don't know their condition or their economic situation, but I'm sure they would be so proud of not only you, but some of your brothers and uncles and aunts who have made something of their life in an educational and economic way. So, and now you're helping other young people pursue their dreams and move forward in their life.
Yeah, and that's why, coming to work to me is not a job. To me, it's a mission.
That's awesome.
My mission is helping others achieve what I was able to achieve. Now, education is different for different people, right? Not everybody has to pursue a PhD. Everybody needs to pursue a PhD. Different people at different stages of their lives, they need a short-term certification, which we offer. They need a certificate, which normally is 1 semester or 2 semesters, or an associate's degree, or a bachelor's degree, or a graduate program. It depends what their needs are, what they want to do. So I have never tried to push anybody to pursue something they don't want to pursue. It's what they need at that moment. And it takes a lot of effort. It takes you knowing the different programs you have and the different jobs out there. Because in the end, all of us go to college to get a better job. If not, why come to college, right?
Absolutely. And you said something really interesting, which I do feel is missing in a lot of the understanding of a lot of people, is that you said not everyone needs a PhD and not everyone needs a bachelor degree, and maybe not even not everyone needs a 2 or 3 year degree, associate's degree. But you said Indian River State College offers some other types of programs. Tell me about those.
Yes, we offer from short-term certifications, 10 hours, 40 hours, 100 hours, 200 hours. We have in different areas. We have technical certificates, and those normally are 4 courses, so about 1 semester, or 2 semesters long, or 3 semesters long. Or we have associate's degree or bachelor's degree. So again, is what you need at that moment in your life. And many of these are stackable. So many of these, you get a certificate, then you can pursue the associates, and we might take some of those credits, or we can give you credit for some of the time you spent in the program, and then you can even pursue your bachelor's.
And so in the certificate level of pursuit, or of education rather, what categories or fields would somebody get a certificate in?
We have many. I mean, we have several, of course, in the health sciences. We have in law enforcement. We have paramedic and programs like that. We have one here in Chastain, which is called Lasers and Photonics. So it's 4 courses. So students take 4 courses, and we were able to do now, the first time we run them here at Chastain, we had 11 students completed. And these were high school students. So while they're in high school, they come out with a certificate that can now easily get them a $20 an hour job.
And what is
while
it,
they're in high school. Lasers and photonics.
And what is that?
Lasers and light, basically. It's using light for manufacturing. Your CD player, for example, is an example of that, of the use of lasers and photonics. Communications. A lot of the equipment that we have here is using inside lasers and photonics.
Do you do any of the trades like AC, air conditioning, or not?
Yes, as IRSC we do. We have welding, we have car mechanic, we have the different certifications there. We have many of HVAC, heating, ventilation.
That's awesome, because I think, so many people want to get, maybe they think a higher education in something that really won't produce the job that they need.
Yes, or the pay they're looking for.
Or the pay that they're looking for.
A good HVAC technician makes $100,000 a year or more. So that's more than many people with 4-year degrees. Not to put down 4-year degrees. I mean, for different jobs, we need different people, right? But there are many opportunities. And on that, we're working with the county. We're going to establish what is called the REACH Center. It's Building 17 at the airport. And the county is applying for money to retrofit the space. And then Career Source, together with IRSC, we're going to be providing short-term certifications for manufacturing to support our main industries, which are marine and aviation. So the idea is Career Source helps us identify the people that need upskilling. We bring them in, we provide them the training. Again, some of these is 100 hours, some of it is 200 hours, some of it is 300 hours. Things that support manufacturing, so machining, for example, or welding, or fabrication, or we have many possibilities.
We have a lot of boat manufacturers around here.
Carpentry.
This is beautiful area.
Exactly.
For
the electronics that go on the boats or in the aviation. So these are all areas that will be covered in that center based on the needs of the specific cohort. It's a small space. It's about 4,000 square feet of lab space, together with classrooms and labs. But the idea, again, is to have a pipeline of people feeding our partners in industry that are asking us, I need somebody that can do things with their hands. I need somebody that can put some rivets in a piece of aluminum. That's what we'll be training there.
That's right. And so many people may think that, I don't want to do a blue-collar type job, but they realize a skilled person can get paid very, very well.
Very handsomely.
I know I may not look like it now because I'm sitting here in as a white-collar type job as an insurance agent, but for many years I used to renovate homes. So I've done handyman work and the small jobs, renovating a shower. Someone who has that skill for tiles, plumbing, and all these type of things, they can make very, very good money. A week's work, they can come away with some nice cash.
Yep, we got some people making a month.
That's right.
Something else.
That's right. Somebody who may have a PhD and and so again, we don't want to knock any type of education, but some can really produce what you need to do. So we're going to take our first break, and we'll be right back. So you're listening to the Quality of Life radio show. WSTU 1450 and WPSL 1590. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
This is Gary Owen of the Owen Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jensen Beach, Hope Sound, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Welcome back to the Quality of Life radio show. My name is Tom Bouvier. I'm hosting the program today. And we have Alex Anzalone, who is the campus president of Indian River State College for the Martin County campus. So, Alex, you were mentioning during our break that you have some projects that you're excited to talk about.
Yes.
And we also want to make sure we have your phone number, and I believe your email address is going to be on the screen so people can watch if they're watching, of course. But we're going to ask you to tell us what that is. But tell us about these projects you're excited about.
Sure. So I already talked about the REACH Center. That one is short-term certifications. Another project we have, we're going to be opening a trade high school in Indiantown.
Oh, my.
So it's 400 students. We're starting this year with 75 students at a temporary location. And then next year we move to our permanent location. And there, the areas of focus are going to be, in general, construction trades, manufacturing, some high-tech, drones and lasers and photonics and mechatronics, robotics. We're going to have some agricultural or environmental technology programs there, and regular high school. So the goal is that every student that goes to that school achieves high school diploma and something that can earn them a living. So that's the goal of the school. We're going to have electricity, plumbing, again, carpentry, and then areas that support aviation and marine, like mechanic, a diesel or gas, right? So this is a project that has been taking a while to be achieved, but it's going to be transformational for the community. We have a lot of companies already lined up to help us, support the programs,
help sponsor and support,
and get the students, get the graduates, the graduates. So. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Promise program. The IRSC Foundation launched the Promise program. Our president, Dr. Tim Moore, launched the program about a month ago. And we have already over 2,300 people that signed up for the Promise program. What this does is this is last dollar monies that pay for tuition for those that cannot pay for tuition. So you can achieve an Associate of Arts, an Associate of Science, or an Associate of Applied Arts Associate of Applied Sciences at IRSC at no tuition cost to you. So we have many people in the population that do not qualify for financial aid, but could still benefit from this. They will get to pay no tuition. Our foundation will cover their tuition. So this is non-taxpayers' money. This is all private donations, so thank you to our sponsors. And actually, we're looking for sponsors to provide naming opportunities for the Martin County Promise Program, for example, or for the colleges, college-wide Promise Program. So if you know somebody out there that might want to help in this process, it will be, again, transformational for our 4 counties, Indian River, San Lucie, Okeechobee, and Martin. So we expect these to be a success. Again, already we exceeded our goals of the number of people interested in the program. And
now we need to exceed the goals for the amount of money needed, right?
Well, no, I mean, we do have the funds in the foundation now to run this year, but we want to expand it. We want to be able to cover tuition for people pursuing technical certificates, which, again, in the end, everything around technology is near and dear to me, being an engineer, right?
Right.
And those are the jobs, I mean, all my partners here in the county, those are the jobs they're asking me for, I need people with these skills, and we don't have many. Ask anybody that has an HVAC company or a plumbing company or electrical company or construction.
Hiring.
They need a lot of people, and we don't have them.
That's right.
So our goal is that we will be producing those at the high school. We will be producing those with our Promise program for those programs that, support those industries.
That's excellent. I know I have a good friend of mine. He has a boat storage and a small repair shop for motorboats. He's like, Tom, I need an experienced mechanic for engines and boats, and he'll get one, and it doesn't work out. So he's always looking for.
We will be producing those.
That's excellent.
Between the Rich Center, the Indiantown High School, and at the campus.
So if someone needs to get in or would like to get in touch to you, not only about the Promise program, but any other projects or Indian River State College in general, how can they reach you, Alex?
Anything IRSC, please call me, 772-419-5604, 772-419-5604, or my email is Anzalone, so AANZALONE @irsc.edu. For information on the Promise program, promise.irsc.edu. For information about the high school, we have a landing page for now until, the school needs to be approved by the county, by Martin County School District, and we need to launch the school. The school is indiantownhs.irsc.edu.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alex. So I have a question. How many students do you have enrolled in your Chastain campus?
So as a college, we have about 22,000 students. Chastain is about 20% of those. About half of those are online.
Okay.
So with COVID, we transferred, everything went to online, and then we're bringing a lot of people back in person. But right now, we're sitting as a college about 50%. So the campus traditionally had 6,000 students or 5,000 students. Mm-hmm. Now we're about 3,000, 2,500.
Right. I think people got used to that Zoom.
Yes,
and webinars and classes.
Has provided a lot of people the opportunity of going to school too.
That's true.
People that cannot afford or cannot, provide child care, they can be home and take their classes and still take care of the kids, for example. Mm-hmm. People that don't have transportation are able to take courses with us. So it has helped, and there is going to be a balance at some point, and we'll know what the real number of online courses that we need, will be. So far, we're about 50%.
Well, education has come a long way.
It has.
I'm sure you've seen it. And I was telling you earlier, I grew up in an educational type family. My father was a college professor for about 17 years at LSU in Baton Rouge, electrical engineering. So when my dad would explain something, we heard it 3 different times in 3 different ways and manners. Yeah. It was like, we got it, Dad. But he wanted to make sure we got it. He was an amazing teacher. And some of the students that we had met were saying, your dad was the hardest professor, but he made us understand it. He forced us to understand it, and he expanded our minds. So sometimes the easiest teacher is not the best. Sometimes the hardest ones can and be the best. So.
I cannot think of a better profession. Again, I was in industry. I was an engineer in one of the best companies, then in another great company, and teaching people, sharing what you know, helping other people succeed. There is no better job than that. You really see the light bulb come on. Like you see in the cartoons that people are sitting, boom, and you see the light bulb. You see people's eyes. They brighten when they've been struggling with a concept, and all of a sudden they see it. You see that, and that is priceless to me, at least.
Absolutely, and I'm privileged to be able to have that lights on experience with people, because I'm not only an independent insurance agent, I'm a field manager, which simply means that I do a lot of recruiting and training of new agents. And before I became an independent agent with Owen Insurance Group, I worked for a company, and I was a trainer of independent or captive insurance agents. And then I trained the trainers who trained the agents. So I kind of...
You are an educator.
I'm an educator.
You are an educator.
Absolutely.
Without the formal title, but that's who you are.
Yes, I was. And I do love it. And I did things in a previous... I'd been a missionary and did some ministry work and running different Bible schools and things of that nature.
Excellent.
So I love to educate, and I guess that came from my dad.
Exactly.
Excellent. So what are some of the top industries that you see that employment, they really need skilled workers that is lacking? I know you mentioned some of the things, but what are the top two or three?
In our county, definitely aviation and marine. Those two are struggling for people. Some of them are even starting their own training programs because they cannot find enough people. Also, all those that are services, for example, HVAC or plumbing or electricity, all those, they're all struggling for people. We have in our county a lot of business functions. Accountants are in very short supply. And we do have a bachelor's in accounting. So if you're looking for accountants, let us know, and we'll put you in contact with our graduates. We have also the associates in accounting, which are the people that support the accountant. And those we also have. So sometimes you need one accountant and 3 people supporting that person, doing all the heavy work, right? Before the accountant checks that it's all correct.
That's right.
So we do have those programs. Those are the areas in our county that are more, in high demand. In our county, we have about 1,500 unemployed, and we have about 7,000 jobs.
Wow.
So we need
7,000 jobs
7,000 jobs. So the idea is, of course, try to get those that do not have the skills for the jobs that are available. There are very few unskilled, as they are called, jobs in our county. Most require some form of education, some kind of certification, some kind of skill, right? And a lot of people don't know they have those skills. If you've been fixing lawnmowers or motorcycles, you are almost a mechanic. So you can come and get a certificate and start working officially as a mechanic in a mechanic shop. And they're making good money.
They are making good money.
So the opportunities are there. Just approach us. If you think you're not in the right job for you, if you think you could be making more money for your family, approach us. We have the opportunities.
And does Indian River State College and your campus specifically have some type of career placement, or like some young person comes in, I'm interested in all types of things, but I don't know what my skills sets are. Do you have counselors or some testing?
As a college, we have career services. So here in our county is Susan Pryor, that is in our campus. And so people come and they can take an assessment and realize, what you might be good at. Then they can take education in that area, whatever that is, a certificate, a degree. And then we have job placement services. We help them with the resume. We help people with the interviews. We help people even if they don't have the suit to go to the interview, we can help them get that through our partners. And then we also help companies. So if you have jobs, you have positions available, we ask you to register in our system, and then you can post jobs in our job board.
Excellent. And so, I do want to speak to our listeners out there who are listening, and you say, well, I'm already in my career. I'm 50, 60 years old. Everything Alex is saying is wonderful, but it's not for me or is of no use. Well, here's what you do I would like to ask you, you may have a niece, a nephew, a child, a grandchild. You may have a young person that you have some type of relationship and influence over that may not know what they want to do with their life. Or they just kind of just think they're just going to float along in life, doing nothing, living at home with mom and dad and being supported. Give Alex a call. He may have suggestions on how you can help that young person in your life, because every one of us has influence, or at least we know young people who may not know the career path that they want to go in. I know for the finance department, or if I'm in the health insurance industry, how I wish I could have started. If I would have started right out of college, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. Exactly. I'd be retired on my sailboat sailing around the world by now. Because the finance industry or the insurance industry can be very, very lucrative for people that want to get out there and work. And they want to do work with numbers and health and educate people. What we educate people about health insurance. So there's a lot of great things that older Americans can do to help the young people by exposing them to these type of opportunities.
And also, it's never too late. I mean, we have many students in their 50s, in their 60s that are trying to jump into a new industry. And because of the shortages out there, some time ago, companies were hesitant on hiring older employees. Now they're not, okay? Right. We also have second chance trainees. And we are partners with some of our nonprofits in the county, helping people coming out of prison to achieve these positions, making good money, and not going back to the system, right?
Second chance program.
So we have, again, approach us. We have something for you. We have over 140 programs in our college. So we have something that will match what your needs are at this moment in your life.
Well, you've really opened up my mind, because I was on your campus, the Pruitt campus, up in because I'm part of the St. Lucie Chamber of Commerce. We had our breakfast there this morning. And just driving in there, I thought, man, I haven't been on a campus in a long time. I believe in education, and I'm an educator. But I was thinking, wow, I wonder if they have any courses that I could take. But and I didn't think of that, so thank you for saying that. I entered the health insurance industry when I was 52. I'm 60 years old now, just turned 62, so it's been 8 years ago that I got my health insurance license from a variety of things I've done. I was a missionary, traveled around the world. I did things of that nature for 20 years, and home renovator for about 10, buying and selling, flipping homes, doing all type of, done a lot of phone work. But I came into the career that now I absolutely am perfectly fitted for, in my humble opinion. And I believe this is going to be what I'm going to be doing until I retire, until I do sail off into the sunset. So thank you for saying that. So if you are 40, 50 years old, looking for a new start, a new career, it's never too late to start. So look at me, because I really am. I'm thriving. I'm blessed. I'm financially doing very well. Love what I do. Love to help people. I'm helping people and making good money at it. And I started at age 52. So that's very nice. So we're going to start transition. Alex, we appreciate you being here, and I want you to stay. You're going to stay involved. As a matter of fact, if you don't mind, there's a quote of the day, if you can see it right there.
Yep.
Okay. Once you look over that, if you don't mind reading us the quote of the day.
I will be happy. Quote of the day. Success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success. Greatness will come.
Absolutely. And I know that you have not only achieved some greatness, because I'm sure there's a lot of students, a lot of other faculty members who really can credit you for the influence you've had in their life and the leadership. But I know by being consistent, as this said, consistent hard work leads to success, and greatness will come. And the greatest is, and there's a saying, the greatest of all is the greatest is the servant of all, the person who can really help other people. Some people think of greatness as the great powerful leader who's telling everybody what to do, and they don't lift a finger. They're just commanding and demanding, where the truest and most beloved leaders and greatest people of all time are the ones who were servant leaders, who helped people develop into what their great potential.
Exactly.
And that's what you're doing at the college. So thank you for that quote of the day. I do have a fun fact, and we're going to be taking a break here in just a moment. But before our second break, I want to give you a health fact that was very interesting that Gary put together here, or found, rather. It's oatmeal helps fight depression and insomnia. Now, before you say that can't be true, there is studies that show that people experiencing depression and insomnia, the lack of ability to sleep, or both, because they're often linked, have a lack of serotonin, which is a hormone synthesized from the amino acid tryptophan. So eating foods high in tryptophan, like oatmeal, eggs, chicken, and peanuts, can help regulate your mood and your sleep, according to a 2016 study published in the journal Nutrients. So if you are tending toward depression or insomnia, eat some oatmeal. And you can spice it up. If you say it's boring, it's bland, throw a little cinnamon in there, some other things that might spice it up. So we are going to take our next break now. It's 20 till. And so we ask you not to touch that dial. You're listening to the Quality of Life radio show on WSTU 1450 and WPSL 1590 AM. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Life has taught you many lessons. Like, all you can eat is strangely unsatisfying. That's why it's better to have what you actually need. You've also learned that one size fits all never seems to fit. That's why a Cigna Medicare Advantage plan gives you care that fits your specific health needs. Learn more at CignaMedicare.com, because life has taught you well. Cigna is contracted with Medicare for PDP plans, HMO, and PPO plans in select states and with select state Medicaid programs. Enrollment in Cigna depends on contract renewal.
Hello, this is Gary Owen of the Owen Insurance Group. We are a local independent insurance agency located right here on the Treasure Coast. I've been a resident here for 34 years and have helped thousands of clients with their insurance planning needs. We specialize in life, health, and Medicare insurance planning. Don't travel the road alone. Let us be your guide. We are the Owen Insurance Group. Contact us today at 772-210-1020 or visit our website at oweninsurancegroup.net.
You are listening to WSTU, Stewart, Jupiter, and Indiantown, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Hello and welcome back to the Quality of Life radio show. My name is Tom Bouvier, and I'm your host today. We're having a wonderful guest, Alex Anzalone of Indian River State College, talking to us about all the different great opportunities, education opportunities at the State College. So we do thank you, Alex, for being here. This portion of the show, we're going to get into some of the facts around the world. There's fun facts, trivia type things. Just over 96% of the total amount of the water, the Earth's water, is held in its oceans. Everyone pretty much knows that. And that's primarily salt water, of course. But to find the bulk of the world's fresh water, you need to trek to the poles, as 69% of it is encased in ice caps, permanent snow, and glaciers. So all that's actually fresh water. Okay, the total population is more than 7.5 million people, and that may sound like a lot, but if you were to put everyone standing shoulder to shoulder, 7.5 billion people could all fit in the 500 square mile space called Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's still a lot of room out there. Thankfully, we don't have to live shoulder to shoulder, of course. So here's a quiz. Maybe you might know. What country is home of the shortest people on average in the world?
I do not know.
Yeah, Indonesia and Bolivia are home to some of the shortest people on earth. They average 5'2" inches. Okay, they're small but mighty.
Like my wife.
What's that?
Like my wife. My wife is 4'10".
Okay, she is. Oh, well, she wields some great power, huh?
Yeah, she does.
Absolutely. Great, thank you. People over 60 years old make up 12.3% of the global population, but they're expected to be 22% by 2050. So in 2050, 1 in 5 people will be over 60, and I just turned 60 myself. So I'm part of that 12.3%. So with what country do you think has the most number of islands? I would have never guessed this. I lived in the Philippines for 5 years. That has over 7,000 islands. But what country has the most islands?
Could be, again, the Philippines or Indonesia.
Okay. Anybody else want to guess? Okay. We'll be stumped on this. You're probably not going to believe me. I'm going to have to go back and look this up myself. But with 221,800 islands, Sweden is thought to have more islands than any other country in the world. Only about 1,000 of them are inhabited. So they must be little tiny things. Sweden.
Yeah, and many of them are under ice. So probably that's why we don't see them.
Or what?
Under ice.
Oh, okay.
They're on the permanent snow cover.
Oh, very nice. Yep, that's true. But I would have never thought Sweden would be the land of many islands. So I thought Indonesia or Philippines. Tokyo is a booming city. You know how many? It's the largest city in the world. Do you know how many people live in Tokyo or in and around?
I think it's about 25 million.
It's actually 37 million.
Wow.
It's the world's largest city when it comes to population size. The next largest is Delhi, India, with 29 million, and Shanghai, China, approximately 26 million. So that's some amazingly big cities. I know I've been to Manila at that time was 8 or 9 million. It just went on forever and ever. You know, all you saw was people. So here's a fun facts this day in history. Today is Tuesday, April 26th, the 117th day of 2022. 248 days left in this year. And in 1865, Abraham Lincoln's assassin, John Wilkes Booth, is killed by Union soldiers in a Virginia barn. So that would be the talk of the town, the news of the day in 1865. In 1915, Italy signed the Treaty of London, committing itself to enter World War I on the side of the Allies. Apparently in World War II they switched sides.
Yeah.
Probably got coerced into switching sides. And for all you disco lovers, do you remember the 70s, the disco fever?
I don't remember much of it, but I love the music.
Yeah, the 1977. Studio 54 opens in New York City. Okay, that was made famous. And, of course, the show with John Travolta.
Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever, yeah, that was right around that time. And in 1986, the worst nuclear disaster in history occurred at Chernobyl. That's in the Ukraine, of course, unfortunately in the news for other reasons. But 32 people died. 50 tons of radioactive material were released into the atmosphere and carried by air currents. 5,000 Soviet citizens eventually died from cancer and other radiation-induced illnesses caused by their exposure to the Chernobyl radiation. Millions more had their health adversely affected. So, of course, with that going into their health adversely affected, I want to talk to you today about a couple of things going on in the health insurance industry. For those of you who may not know, if you're under 65 and don't have health insurance, and you are at the government just opened up a special enrollment period for the marketplace plans for health insurance. You do need to be making a certain amount of money, show some employment. But if you are below the 150% of the federal poverty level. For an individual, that's about $19,000, but over like $13,000 in that range. That gives you an opportunity to enroll in a health insurance plan. And so if you're a married couple with no children, there's another certain dollar amount. And then if you say you have 2 children and a spouse, 4 people in the family need health insurance, give me a call, 772-210-1020, and I can see if you would qualify for a health insurance plan. These are typically for people under 65, not Medicare eligible. But they did open that enrollment period because normally that period is between November 1st and December 15th. Also, if you are new to Medicare, you're 64 and you're going to be turning 65, you're going to be getting on Medicare, this is the time to start planning when you're 63, 64 years old. So if you were born in 1957 or 1958, of course, everyone born in 1957 is turning 65 this year, 2022. Next year, if you were born in 1958, you'll be turning 65. So you'll want to look at whether you want to take your Medicare options and so even Social Security options. We're well trained and versed in that. That's our expertise. Medicare, health insurance. And all the different options that are available to you. So, again, give us a call at Owen Insurance Group. That's never a cost, no obligation. We love to educate and inform you about all of your insurance options. And what I want to briefly touch on today is dental insurance. So this is an exciting, fun thing to talk about. Well, actually, many people would think, oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. I can remember, Alex, one of the funniest things in my mind, at least, about dental insurance that I can think of. I was working for a company, and just like probably your company or your campus, if you have health insurance for the employee, you have an open enrollment period, right? So between November and December 15th or whatever, you're able to sign up with the health insurance, and then you can elect to get dental insurance and vision and some of these optional things. They might take out a few dollars per paycheck for the dental, for example. So I took the health insurance, but I said, no, I don't need dental. And I don't know why. I hadn't been to the dentist in years, and it's like, so that's how some people are about their teeth. I said, I brush every day. I floss. I'm pretty good with my teeth. But I declined the dental insurance. So about a week later, I was out at the beach. I love to boogie board and swim, and so it's big waves, and I was on a small board. They call it a boogie board. Many of you know, and I was getting a lot of good waves, and this one wave was beginning to curl too fast, so I tried to pull back. I couldn't pull back in time, and the inevitable happened. That wave slammed me face first into the sand. And, you know, here I am, my face, I feel like my whole left side of my face is crushed. And the first thing that came to my mind is, darn, I shouldn't have declined that dental insurance, because I just knew I was going to come up and like teeth. Half of my teeth were gone. I literally thought the majority of my left side of my teeth would be gone. That was the first thing. I declined the dental insurance. So I come up, well, thankfully, all my teeth are still there. They are a little pushed in. They did get moved around, a couple of them, from that face in the sand by Mother Nature, the ocean. But from then on, I said, I better get dental insurance. And so I have gotten it and gotten the regular maintenance. Less than 50% of people have dental insurance because they think, oh, it's not worth it. It's not useful. Well, there's 2 types of dental insurance out there. There's what I call the two types. Number one, there's a basic type. You would pay a smaller monthly premium. You get a couple of free cleanings and x-rays and exams, and you just show the card to the dentist. That's got to be in the network, and they wouldn't charge you anything. And then that plan would also have some coverage. Let's say you needed a filling or made a tooth extracted or something. Then the insurance has a set amount of money that it would pay toward that, and it might pay up to 50% or 60%. Sometimes there's a waiting period of 12 months It goes from 20%. We'll cover an implant or a tooth extraction or a root canal. We'll only pay 20% of that year one, but after 12 months, we'll go up to 50%. So there's some basic plans for an individual, and I'll just give you a price range anywhere from $30 to $35, up to $30 to $40 per month, and you can decide if that's worth it. But it's insurance. What if I would have had some major things going on in my mouth and I didn't have insurance? It's all 100% out of pocket. Rather, with insurance of this nature, you pay $30, $40 a month and you have some coverage. And then there's the other type of insurance. I call it the MacDaddy dental plans. What does that mean? This is where there's up to $5,000, and $3,500, $5,000 worth of coverage backing you. And the premiums would be higher, maybe about $60, $65 a month for an individual. But this type of plan would not only pay 100% of the cleanings and the basic thing, but if you needed an implant, if you needed a root canal, if you needed other type of gum work done in your mouth, major work, where the dentist has already told you, you're looking at about a $7,000 bill. We get individuals, clients like that all the time. Oh, yeah, I need the MacDaddy plan, Tom. Forget about the just basic. I need the one with the most covered. And so there are plans that will cover you on day one, no 12-month waiting period. They will cover 70% of the cost of that up to $3,500, or you can buy up to $5,000. So if you have a bill that's going to come in at $5,000, it's a major work done on your teeth, and you have this plan will pay $3,500 of that, leaving you with $1,500. So which would you rather pay, the full $5,000 or $1,500, and have that monthly premium? So dental insurance is very important. The gum and the health of your gum, the health of your entire mouth is very, very important. A lot of people don't realize it can actually affect your health, even to the point of death. Bacteria, infections that take place in your gums, that infection could get into your bloodstream and cause incredible harm to your body. So when people talk about health insurance, they normally don't even think about dental insurance, or they think, oh, it's a waste of money. Well, it's actually not, because routine care 2 to 3 times a year with a professional who can check out your gum, just like eye exam. You say, I don't wear glasses. Well, an optometrist can check to see if there's some onset of different diseases, glaucoma, or whatnot. Even if you're young, you can have eye diseases. So dental, vision, all these things are part of the quality of your life, and that's why we talk about it. So if you have any question about dental insurance or dental and vision or health insurance, Medicare under 65, give us a call. Owen Insurance Group, 772-210-1020. Again, my name is Tom Bouvier. And Alex, we just have a couple of more minutes here. If you could just say a few words, what would you tell people, either a young person or, as a great point that you brought up, someone in their midlife, 40, 50-year-old, looking, maybe not exactly sure what they want to do. They know they have skills, they know they have value, but they really haven't found their niche. What would you tell them?
I would tell them, come to us. Approach one of our campuses. We have also virtual meetings if you prefer that. But approach us. We can have an evaluation. You can talk to an advisor. We can give you an idea of the potential areas where we can help you. And again, they can go from weeks-long programs to full degrees, right? And it's all based on what you want to do. It's all based on the opportunities out there. We have a connection with all the employers in the area, so we know more or less, what the salaries are, what areas are looking for employees, what areas might be better for you. You might want something in business, but business is a very broad field. So we have insurance, for example, is one of them, or it could be accounting, it could be any of the other areas, marketing. So come talk to us. We have professionals that's their job. Their job is to help you, achieve your goals.
Excellent. And so give them your phone number one more time, if you would.
My phone number is 772-419-5604.
Thank you. And again, this has been Alex Anzalone from Indian River State College. He's the campus president at the Chastain campus on Salerno Road, right in beautiful Martin County. So we thank you for coming on, Alex. And next week we have a special guest on our show. It's going to be Wayne Filowitz with WRPV Studios. And Gary and I will continue to provide you great information about health insurance as well as wonderful fun facts. So I want to thank you for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Please share us with your friends, family, and neighbors. Stay safe, stay healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life.